23 army commanders have been given leadership for the Sri Lanka Army, which is performing a greater task to destroy the LTTE terrorist organization, which is recognized internationally as a terrorist organization, and the 24th Army Commander is currently leading the Sri Lanka Army, extending the average weekly training to 10 weeks, up from the traditional 9 weeks. Not counting the amount of time you spend in reception can last from weekly to 3 weeks. When you first undergo Army basic training, you are assigned to a reception base for initial processing. Includes paperwork, timing, uniform issues, haircuts, basic tests, early training in military and barracks life, and much more. Before you can withdraw from the acceptance, you need to pass the basic fitness test. Those who fail this test are assigned to a training institute and can be called a boot camp to meet the minimum standards required to begin the actual basic training program. Each week at the fitness training ends. It is clear from the study of ancient sources that Sri Lanka had a powerful army to drive out the invaders like Kalinga Magga, Chola, Pandya who came to this country during the Sinhalese kingdom and to invade countries like Burma and India. A strong army had been created in this country to fight the Portuguese, the Dutch and the English, and to face the invading armies that came with modern weapons. It is well explained when looking at the battles of Malaria, Dancher, Balana and Ganarua where the Sinhalese army and the Portuguese army clashed. In 1796, the British conquered the coastal areas of Sri Lanka and in 1803, under the leadership of Frederick Knott, the Sinhalese forces also thwarted the invasion of the highlands. After the British completely conquered Ceylon in 1815, Ceylon did not have a regular state army and they armed themselves as rebels and led battles against the British government in 1818 and 1848. After the conquest of the country by the British, i.e. after 1796, the troops of the Royal Navy and the Royal Infantry are serving in the country. A British Eastern Naval Headquarters will be established in Trincomalee. Later, they established a regiment in Sri Lanka under the command of the British, called the 1st Regiment of Ceylon, consisting of Malay national troops. After 1802, native Sinhalese were recruited for the British Army and it was named as the 2nd Ceylon Regiment. It is led by British military officers. These Sinhalese soldiers are also known as sepoys. In 1817, this regiment was named the Ceylon Rifle Regiment. The 1848 rebellion was started by the Madail Sinhalese led by Puran Apu, so the British government is working to temporarily stop the recruitment of Sinhalese into the Rifle Regiment. However, the Ceylon Rifle Regiment can be mentioned as the 1st regiment composed of natives of Ceylon who served for Britain. The Ceylon Light Infantry Volunteer Front can be called the 2nd military service that started during the colonial period. For this, there was a lot of contribution from the Sri Lankan trading community and soon they were installed in several sections such as Volunteer Artillery, Volunteer Infantry, Sri Lanka Volunteer Medical Corps, Engineering and Supplies. In the year 1910, the Ceylon Army was named as the Ceylon Defence Force and served for the British during the First World War, which was created during 1914 to 1918. In 1939, during the Second World War, the Ceylon Defence Force played an important role for Britain. Shortly after the end of World War II, Sri Lanka gained independence and in 1949, Brigadier R. The Ceylon Army was created by forming the 1st Regular Brigade under the command of Sinclair. In the year 1950, the first batch of cadet officers were admitted to the Ceylon Army. Later, with the establishment of the Army College in Dayapala, Brigadier Anton Muthukumaru became the 1st Sri Lankan commander of the Ceylon Army. That was in 1955. The volunteer force is also growing at the same time and during the Elam War that lasted from 1980 to 2009, the volunteer forces also worked side by side with the regular forces. In the past 70 years, 23 army commanders have taken command to bring the Sri Lankan army to the commendable position it is today.
85%! Stand by! Aim Karanda, stand by! Fire!